Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys had a good night tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA DFS, PrizePicks content. All these videos, they get posted on this Reddit. I'll just have a link down below. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions about the slate. Pretty much anything you need, I will have this link down below. All right, since I didn't recap the last couple days, we shall recap it. This was a couple days ago. Easy cash. Guy I was really high on was Moses Moody. Pretty much all the Warriors I loved. We could have a similar situation tomorrow with the Warriors. Easy cash there. This was, I believe, yesterday or 2 days ago. Nice cash here. I was really high on the Pels. And then today, I lost a little bit of money. This is not my main lineup. This is my second lineup. I went light today. Main lineup did not cash, but this was my second lineup that did end up cashing. My core today was Cole Anthony, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and Jake LaRavia. All were in my main lineup, and yeah, that did not cash. But secondary lineup cash, cool. So looking to keep the hot streak going. Hopefully you guys had a great night. And if you're looking for more DFS content, PrizePicks, books, all that good stuff, I'll have my Discord link down below. We got people playing MLB, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 game slate. Let's go backwards today. I feel like, we haven't done backwards in a minute. Apologies for my cell phone there, but we're going to cruise right through these. All right, Luka Doncic is questionable. If he's in, obviously he's one of the best spin-ups on the slate. I do expect him to play here. They kind of need to win games. Highest floor, highest ceiling on the slate. Not necessarily the best matchup going up against Houston, but overall, yes, he's going to be the best spin up on the slate. Ownership, I don't know. We'll see. If value opens up, sure, you can play him. I think Victor Wembanyama, personally, in my opinion, is one of my favorite spin ups on the slate. But yeah, I think Luka always looks phenomenal no matter what slate he's on. If he's in, it's going to be a downgrade to Kyrie. He'd still be playable, but I prefer getting up to Luka. Gafford at 5.6K has played extremely well for this team. I would say he's getting to the price point where I think he should be. PJ Washington, his usage is really bad on this team, but he's playable at 5.1K. Don't know if I go out of my way to play any of these guys outside of Luka, but they're all playable. Lively should see around 20 minutes. He's a decent point per minute guy. I think he's a solid value. And I don't know if I get to much else here. I think that's really kind of it. Now, if Luka's out, we know what to do. Kyrie looks phenomenal. Absolutely would love him. Daniel Gafford doesn't really change much. Lively doesn't. The bigs don't really change much. Still be solid. PJ Washington would be decent. Tim Hardaway Jr. would look phenomenal. Dante Exum would look phenomenal. Derrick Jones Jr. would be a solid value. There would just be a ton to like here if Luka Doncic does, for some reason, sit in tomorrow's game. Moving on to Houston, Cam Whitmore should be back. So, minutes with Amen Thompson, could be a bit more in question here. We also have Jabari Smith back. Obviously, he's been back for a game or so now. So the minutes with, Amen, etc., could be a bit more risky. They were already risky with, Jabari Smith in. He, could play, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, etc. With that being said, Cam Whitmore, knee injury, we'll keep an eye on what they're going to do with his minutes. If he goes back to his normal around 20 minutes game, it's going to make him a decent option at that price point. Dillon Brooks is playable. You guys know the drill with him. He's either going to get ejected, he's either going to have a floor game, or he's going to smash. There's no in between. So playable, just know what you're getting yourself into. Jock Landale, no thank you. Jabari Smith at 6.4K, I think this could be a spot where he plays a bit more. Seems to be a running theme here. He's playing up against smaller teams. They're going with Jock Landale up against bigger teams, right? So I think it's a spot where, Jabari could play a bit more. I don't mind him. Amen Thompson, I think, is priced right. Jalen Green's just been incredible. A really good spot as well. I have no issue paying this price point for him. I still think he's a really solid play, even at 9K. Definitely prefer him to Fred VanVleet. But Fred, also very safe. They're just running a tight rotation of late. They're playing Fred. They're playing Jalen Green. All the minutes they can handle. I think they're both solid options up at the top here. All right, this game is just treacherous. Io, Caruso, they're both questionable. If they're out, I don't even know who they start here. I really don't. Kobe White, Vooch, DeMar DeRozan, and possibly get an Andre Drummond start tomorrow. I know Cat's out, but possibly. I guess it's in the realm of possibilities. Craig, so what? It would be Kobe White, Vooch, DeMar, Craig. I mean, it's not on the realm of possibilities that they start Drummond up against Minnesota. I don't think it is. They could do a number of things, but yeah, I mean, if for some reason they do start a Drummond, if they're both out, then obviously Drummond becomes the best value play on the slate. I don't know if I'm running to play Kobe White, Vooch, DeMar in this matchup going up against Minnesota. They're all more just contrarian plays for me. Craig, at least, would be a solid value at 3.3K. if they're both out, definitely the value would be my favorites. And just keep an eye on what they start with. Javonte Green's been getting run at 3.1K of late. Bidham was getting run. I believe he hasn't been getting run of late. Yeah. But prior he was. So we'll see. They could do a number of things. They could start Bidham. Is he still with the team? 329. Just keep an eye on it. But yeah, I guess they could start Drummond tomorrow if those guys are out. That would be intriguing. Moving on to Minnesota, Cat is going to remain out here. I do expect Ant and Gobert to play. They've been questionable pretty much every single game. They've been playing every single game. Naz Reid has been in the starting lineup as well. So with that being said, Mike Conley at 5.3K, I think is just there for me. Fine as like a filler play. Naz Reid, I like his ceiling in GPPs. Just this game is going to be a slog fest, slow pace, two good defensive teams, right? Rudy Gobert in competitive games is playing over 40 minutes. He's fine. I think Ant's okay to solid as a spend up, but I don't think I'm going out of my way to play anyone in this game unless Andre Drummond starts tomorrow, which I think it definitely could happen going up against Minnesota. Slow-mo at 5K is fine. He's been getting run of late. He's getting some backup 5 run as well. He should play low 20s minutes, good point per minute guy. I don't mind that. And then we want to remain, guys. All right, let's move it on here. Let's move on to OKC. SGA is doubtful. I still think Josh Giddey is just too cheap at 6.7K with no SGA. I know the minutes aren't great. Like, he should play around 30 minutes. Rotation's been a bit bad. Like, they've been trolling these Thunder rotation minutes, like with like Chet, Jalen Williams, etc. That's the one downside here. But if we continue to get around 30 minutes from Josh Giddey, I still think he's too cheap. So I still do like Josh Giddey. I think Chet's in play. Don't love the spot. Jalen is still a solid option. Should play high 30s minutes, hopefully, unless they absolutely troll the rotation again. Like him quite a bit. Tough matchup going up against the Knicks. But if you want to fade them because the ownership and the rotations of late have been absolutely troll in a tough matchup, go for it. Ownership's going to depend on what I do with these Thunder guys tomorrow. I do like the value, though. Aaron Wiggins, he started last game. If he starts again, he's a pretty good value. Joe's been incredible off the bench. I like him. What else? Case Wallace, I don't know if I get too off the bench. Lou Dort's playable. Yeah, just keep an eye on what they do with starting lineup there. Moving on to the Knicks. So Hartenstein is probable. I believe Mitchell Robinson probable or questionable. Sorry, and then Randall and OD are still out. So not the best spot going up against OKC. This is another game where it's like tough matchup wise, slow pace, etc. But I like Brunson at the top at 9.5K. Insane ceiling. Shot the ball 47 times last game. And in close games, he is going to play over 40 minutes. So I like Brunson there. I think he's a solid point per dollar spend up. Josh Hart, Dante McBride. I would say they're all priced right, but with the amount of minutes that they play, they're all going to be solid options. I think if I had to rank them, my favorites would be Dante McBride, Hart in that order, point per dollar. If I had to rank them straight up, it'd probably Hart, Dante, McBride, but you could flip Dante and Hart, honestly. But yeah, I still think they're good plays at their price points just because of the amount of minutes they're playing. If Mitchell Robinson is out, you could see a bit more. Hartenstein would be intriguing at 5.4K. And then if Mitch is in, I don't know if I go there. If Mitch is out, could see a bit more pressure to as well. He'd be a playable value. All right, this is a team we could definitely have some really good plays from tomorrow. So if Kuminga and Clay are in, then I still like Steph Curry up at the top, up against the San Antonio Spurs. Phenomenal matchup, pace-up spot as well. I was a little bit wary in this game up against Charlotte. I still cored him, I still played him, but Charlotte likes to trap a lot, and that was my worry. He had a bad game. Charlotte did, in fact, trap. Spurs, they're not going to trap. So Steph in a phenomenal spot here. I love, even if everyone's in, I think he's a really good play at 8.5K. Kuminga is solid at 6.6A, and then I still think Wiggins is too cheap at 5.6A. He'd be decent. And then if everyone's in, Trace Jackson Davis would be priced right. I don't know if we go to much else here. Now, if we get both out again, there's going to be a ton to like here. Would absolutely love Chris Paul. Would really like Andrew Wiggins. Would really like Trace Jackson Davis. Draymond Green would be a solid play. Steph Curry would look great. Moses Moody would be a really solid value at 3.9K. How much GP2 play last game? He didn't really get a bump, so for Moody there. There'll be a lot to like here. All the main guys plus Moody would all look good. Podziemski would even be a solid value at 4.5K. There'd just be a ton to like here if those guys are out. Moving on to the Spurs, did mention Victor Wembanyama. I do think he's one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate. Phenomenal spot. I mean, no one's going to be able to stop him here. 40, 20, just absolutely absurd. Good shot blocker, probably going to go for like 5 blocks. Double upside, phenomenal spot. He looks great. One of my favorite spot ups on the slate. And then with Socha and Keldon out, who are they going to start here? What starting lineup is going to be like? What? Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Victor Wembanyama, Julian Champagny, and Chetty Osman. I don't think they're going to start 3 guards. They don't really play Branham alongside Trey Jones and Vassell, all 3 together on the court at once. They just don't do that. So I think Chetty would make the most sense here. Either way, he's going to have to get more run. I like him quite a bit for value. Barlow might have to get a bit more run at 3.1K. What else? You're going to get more run for the guards as well. And then with no Sochan, Keldon, Vassell, going to get a bump, playing huge minutes. He looks good. Trey Jones firmly in play at 5.6K. Julian, at 3.9K. His minutes are going to be really secure. He's a solid value. Like I said, even if Chetty starts, comes off the bench, I really like him for value. So there's just a lot to like here for the Spurs tomorrow. Moving on to the Clippers, good spot here, going up against Charlotte. I think the main guys look solid at their price points. I believe the price points did come down a bit on all the main guys. Yeah, a couple $100 for each, it looks like, besides Kawhi Leonard. I guess fine. I think they all look solid in a good spot. I think Kawhi Leonard's my favorite. The guy I'm pretty high on tomorrow is Zubac. She'll play around 30 minutes. It's a really, really good spot going up against Charlotte. He looks pretty good to me. Price doesn't really move much. Westbrook, no thank you. Powell, no thank you. I don't know if I get to the value here. Moving on to Charlotte, this team is just pissing me off. Miles Bridges pissing me off as well. If Poku's out, going to be a bump to like Bertans. Grant's playable for value. Nick Richards doesn't stand out to me. Mitchell at 5'2". Stat sheet stuffer is okay, I guess. He does seem a bit too cheap. Just really bad matchup. Let it below risk here. Prefer him to man for sure, but Trey Man, both the guards here do seem a little bit too cheap at least. Miller, Miles, they're okay contrarian options for me. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to play either of these guys. All right, moving on to the Lakers. I think AD is a good spend up. He's right up there with Wemby. I definitely do prefer Wemby in my opinion, but AD definitely up there is one of the better spend ups on the slate. I would put him in the category of Wemby and Luka. Okay spot going up against Brooklyn. Probably going to get you like 15 rebounds, double-double, a couple blocks, really high floor with a really high ceiling. So he looks good. LeBron James is fine. Definitely prefer AD to LeBron. Not really high on anything else here. Reeves, D'Lo, they're both priced right. Rui's overpriced. Don't like much else. I do expect both guys to play here. We know what to do if one or both are out. I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get that news. Yeah. Now we get to one of my personal favorite teams to target if Cam Johnson is out, especially if they're going to be low-owned in GPPs. I mean, I've been slamming Cam Thomas every single slate, and nobody's playing him. He's always low-owned. He's playing huge minutes. It's a great spot going up against the Lakers. It's a pace-up spot as well. Should shoot the ball 20-plus times. Just an absurd ceiling on Cam Thomas. I really like him tomorrow. I think Mikkel's a good play at 6.8K. Claxton. I'm going to keep saying it because nobody plays him. His minutes have upticked way up of late. I'm expecting high 30s minutes once again. I mean, it's an okay spot going up against the Lakers, but if he is playing high 30s minutes, he should be an 8K player. He should be an 8K player. So Claxton, really good play. Dennis Schroeder is solid. If Cam Johnson is out, sure, you can go to Dorian Finney-Smith, Trendon Watford. If Cam Johnson is in, it's going to be a downgrade to both of them. But the main guys definitely look really solid here for Brooklyn. Moving on to Miami, we do have Duncan Robinson back, so that's going to take, I mean, I wasn't ever playing Patty Mills anyway, but take him out of play. I'm not going to play Jovic. Jamie, no thing. Jamie's okay at 5'1", Caleb out. I think the main guys look good as long as Washington does keep this game competitive. I'm pretty high on Jimmy Butler in the mid-range at 8.3K. I think he's, let's look at the price range in this area. I think in this range, he's definitely one of the better plays in this mid-range. Like, you have Steph there, who I'm really high on, but like outside of that, I think Fred's okay. Butler, I think is pretty good, if you ask me. Kawhi's right there. I think Kawhi's good. Steph, I really like. So a lot of plays in this mid-range I do like, but yeah, Butler I think is really solid. Bam Adebayo I prefer over Butler straight up. Point per dollar, I think it's Butler, but straight up definitely do prefer Bam Adebayo. Then Terry Rozier just very safe at 6.9K. Let's move on to Washington. Kyle Kuzma questionable. If he's in, the guy I like quite a bit here is Corey Kispert. Good spot. People aren't going to click on him because they're going to see the matchup up against Miami. Maybe people will because this damn green thing here, but Miami do give up a lot of three-point shooting. Kispert's a guy that's going to go out there and absolutely chuck the ball. I've always taken like when Simone Fontecchio is like going up against Miami, I just hammer his props. I might do that for Kispert tomorrow, but yeah, I think Kispert's very, very solid at 5.5K. Bagley is decent. Would prefer Holmes out, but if Holmes is in, we'll see who starts. And then Denny, Poole, Kuzma just there for me. No standouts with the main guys. I think my favorite play is definitely Kispert. If Kuz is out, still no standouts. I would like Kispert more. I think Bagley would still be solid. Denny, Poole would get a bump. And then we'll see who starts. Maybe like a Baldwin be playable. But one thing I do want to note, if Holmes is out, Anthony Gill picked up 3 fouls and they dusted off Vucevic. So absolutely disgusting center rotation last game for that Wizards team. Moving on to the Sixers, Joel Embiid could be back next couple games or so, but Tyrese Maxey, you guys know I'm always pretty high on Tyrese Maxey. It's a good spot going up against Toronto. She'll play big minutes. Definitely a double-double, definitely an outlier, but shooting 7 of 26, another outlier. But high ceiling, generally a high floor as well. Tobias Harris, I think, is decent. I think I prefer getting up to like Tyrese Maxey, and then Uber, I think, is priced right. Bamba, Reed, they'll split the center minutes. One of them will probably have a good game, just trying to figure out which one it's going to be. Now they're at similar price points. I'll just prefer Paul Reed. Kyle Lowry, just find filler value. Buddy Hield, me, disgusting. Moving on to Toronto's. Keep an eye on RJ Barrett. Obviously, he has been out due to, we all know, but we'll see if he's full go, conditioning, etc., etc. If he's in, I like him, assuming he's full go, just because the usage. He's going to be playing alongside like Grady Dick, Gary Trent, Kyle Olynyk. He's just going to be a usage monster. So if he's in, I do like him. Trent will still be playable. We'll see what they do with the starting lineup as well. And then if he is out, we'll also see what they do with the starting lineup as well. Ochai Agbaji is out. So JFL has been starting. If he starts, I think he's a pretty decent value. I think with Ochai out, Jordan Ward is probably going to have to get a bit more run. I like him for value. Don't play Ramsey. He is not with the team. They signed Kobe Simmons to a 10-day contract. Stat sheet suffer. He's actually firmly in play. I'm expecting him to continue to get run with RJ Barrett out. Or if he's out. Dick, I think, is too cheap at 4.8K. Assuming RJ's out, I like him. We'll see if they can move Bruce back into the starting lineup. We'll see. Gary Trent probably going to shoot the ball 20 plus times. So like his ceiling in GPPs. And then Kelly Olynyk is fine. McDaniels will get run. Garrett Temple is getting run of late. Just disgusting. Yeah, that's going to do it for the slate. Hopefully you guys had a great night tonight. And I will talk to y'all in the next video.